There are some major recent updates from Bobcat, the Helium hotspot maker with the most online helium hotspots. Lots of updates and changes happening over at Bobcat, all of them very good. Some will affect your miner specifically and will help get your miner online faster and keep it online longer. They have also announced the opening of their largest factory to date. This, of course, will help them make these miners faster, but an investment in themselves like that is also very telling about their vision for helium mining and the helium network in general. Lastly, we will touch on the opening of Asia and Korea frequency pre-orders. Let's take a look at the details in today's video. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here on the Crypto Compound channel. Thank you all so much for being here. I hope you are having a great day. Please hit the like and subscribe on the way in. Today's video, we have some really interesting and exciting updates here from Bobcat, the helium manufacturer with the most current online hotspots across the world. They have been doing a fantastic job of producing, manufacturing, and getting these miners shipped to their customers across the world. But before we get into all the updates, we will take a look here at this chart. If you saw yesterday's video, we were sitting right around this area, and I mentioned some things on this chart and that related to some other crypto charts that made it look like it was a high probability that we would see a very strong upthrust here off of this backtest, spring backtest, and that is exactly what we saw. We almost hit the 1618 fib extension line here at $33.24, but we actually did hit a new all-time high. This run is not over. We can still, of course, go back and test this all-time high. We're just taking a short little break here. This red candle has not even closed yet, so we'll see what happens. We can reach that 1618 retrace level today, perhaps tomorrow. It's pretty likely that we will touch that level in this same movement. Going to be very exciting to see where HNT goes from there. If we enter pure price discovery mode above here, there's really nothing to judge by, nothing to go by. Of course, this whole time since we broke out and retraced 100%, we've been looking at this level here, and it looks like we might end up there perhaps today. So very exciting stuff. Congrats to everyone that's been here for the ride. But let's get into today's video. First, I want to look at this major update here they have on their blog. There's a lot of information here, a lot of improvements and optimizations for their proprietary diagnoser that Bobcat has. As you can see, they have added a light bulb icon here. Now that will reflect the same color as the status of your hotspot, which is pretty interesting, pretty useful. So you could just at a glance check out what is happening with your hotspot. That is a useful tool, so you don't always have to go into the Explorer and check on your hotspot every day. You will have this LED light status now, which is very interesting, very cool little update. They don't have to do things like that, but that's really nice. I think the biggest improvement here in all of these updates is this remove relay status update. This is a gigantic problem for thousands, tens of thousands of miners and hotspots across the world. If you go on the Explorer, you'll see countless hotspots on relay right now today, and they stay like that for months. Some people just leave them like that. I do not like to do that. I always, if my miner is in relay status, I always fix it as soon as I can, just because I want it to work as efficiently as possible. I don't want it to have to work extra hard and reroute through a different miner to connect to the network. So this diagnoser here, you can see the diagnoser will now port forward 44158 if your router's UPnP is enabled and 44158 isn't opened yet. So the port 44158 is not open. That is when your miner will go on relay. So this is saying that this will automatically work to have that port opened. This automatically removes the relay status for you. Please disable UPnP. If you don't want to automatically forward port 44158, you can still open the port manually. So they're saying you can turn it off to make this not happen automatically and do it yourself. But I mean, really, why would you do that? This is such a huge help would be a huge help for so many people if they had this utility or this facility or this update. This is going to help so many people. Hopefully it will remove the amount of relayed status on the network in general and improve the actual coverage on the network and the efficiency of all of the hotspots. This gives a little bit more detail into some of the ports, what they mean, what they're indicating, and what you have to do to get everything working correctly. This is more technical information. However, it sounds like if you have this update, the relay status should be removed automatically and you don't have to worry about any of that stuff, which is awesome. This is also some more technical stuff here. As you can see, there is some code, their public IP code here. That is here if you need it, but this update for the remove relay status automatically is huge. They're also letting everybody know that they did adjust some network settings to resolve an issue with a small number of hotspots that were unable to connect to the Helium seed nodes. So if that was you, that should be fixed now. Another huge announcement, which apart from just the announcement and the excitement that I'm sure Bobcat has with this new factory, this announcement of this new and largest factory to date is extremely good news for everyone in the Helium community, even if you have no interest in a Bobcat miner. And the reason for that is because this manufacturer, Bobcat, having the most Helium hotspots online on the network, they clearly have a huge insight into the network, into Helium, into DY, into all of these different companies and people that they must work with to get all of this approved and worked on and completed. So the fact that they're opening this huge facility is very telling about their sentiment regarding Helium HNT, the network in general. They must be investing a huge amount of their own capital, their own money into this factory, and of course they're looking at this from a long-term perspective, and this really proves that, because they wouldn't be doing this otherwise. So that's very good to see. It's very good to see these kinds of companies investing in themselves to help improve the customer experience. I'm sure that they'll get these miners out faster with this new factory, and once they're able to do that, they can of course continue to work on updates for the software, for the mining, everything. So this is really huge news for the community in general, even if you're not associated with Bobcat at all. As you can see here, they highlight some of Bobcat's production capacity, some of the really interesting data points and stuff like that. As you can see here, this means we've shipped almost 80,000 miners over the last 10 weeks alone. Those are huge numbers. Huge numbers. That's really great. It's no surprise that if we look here at the chart, we can see hotspot status by maker. Almost 90,000 are currently online. A smaller percentage are offline, but they have more online and fewer offline than Calchip here, which is very interesting to see. Their percentage, obviously, if just by looking at these two bar graphs, you can see that the percentage online is far greater for Bobcat. Here you can see an image here of what looks like what I imagine is the new factory, and it's captioned expanding assembly lines and SMT lines. Looks very organized, really cool stuff. It's nice that they add that as a little touch here. Issues with logistics, not production. They do make a mention of the upcoming holidays and end of year stuff. And of course, all the shipping across the global supply chain is stressed during these times, even on a normal year. So we can imagine that now it's even more stressed, and they are saying that they might have they might run into some pressure with regards to logistics, supply chains, but they're saying that it's not an issue with their own production. That's fair for them to say, I guess. It's pretty interesting that they put that in here. And they do mention the global supply chain issues directly right here. Of course, we know that certainly is the reality of today. So hopefully we can all work through that and get everything back to normal as soon as possible. Now here is the actual website where they did actually release a newly designed sort of marketing campaign for this miner, a little bit of a minimalistic miner, which is very cool. Of course, I don't think anyone really cares about how this miner looks. They did do some nice videography or photography here with the miner, which is cool, and it does look, it looks really cool. But I think people really, at the end of the day, they just want their miner. They want to earn HNT. They want to be mining. They want to be providing coverage. That's really what it comes down to. This all is nice. It's nice to see that they are investing in themselves in this kind of stuff. And it does look cool. So that's nice to see as well. Of course, here you could see what is available. The Asia and Korea, I believe, are relatively new. They do have a announcement here 11 hours ago. Pre-orders for those frequencies are now available. So if you are there, there'll be a link in the description below. It is an affiliate link. It helps support the channel. It costs you nothing. So please go check it out if you would like. We would all really, really appreciate it here on the channel. But definitely a nice little update to the miner itself, the physical miner. And as you can see here from this little chart, Bobcat actually crossed over the onboarding production numbers of CalChip. Very interesting to see. Bobcat has been doing an extraordinary job since their inception here on the Helium network as a manufacturer. Really positive stuff. Love to see their investments in themselves, their constant updates, and their work to really get these miners out on time. I think the movement to the largest facility to date is really telling of their commitment to the customer, which is really nice to see. So guys, that is all I have for today's video. I hope you found some of this information helpful. Please like and subscribe if you have not already. It really helps support the channel. And as we look here, let's see in the coming days, perhaps over the weekend, we can reach this 1618 and enter pure price discovery mode. We would all love to see that. But thanks again. Thank you all for watching until the end. I hope you're having a great day. But just like that, this video is over, and I will see you next time.